What is up, friends, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of the Bell Pepper Team Podcast. And it will be, it's the culmination, it's the ultimate episode of our decade/ranking episodes, where we'll talk about the best, that's right, the BEST, or at least our favorite, games of the past decade. 2010s, baby, they're done with.
Hell yeah.
I can confirm my games are not the best. But they're my
Neither are
favorite.
you.
That
I'm
goes
Don.
without saying. I'm Corey.
I'm Shane.
Shane. Oh.
What? I'm Shane, bitch.
What is happening? It all fell apart. How have we gone into chaos?
Whatever. And he's Davis. Doesn't matter.
Hello.
But yeah, we're talking about the best games of the decade, even though we're probably the worst anything ever.
Yes.
Probably.
Sure.
Sure.
Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Shane is the worst anything ever.
There
We're
you go.
perfectly fine. We are adequate, amazingly adequate.
It's true.
I
At
mean,
least that's
I'm
what I
good
tell
at being
myself.
bad.
You're not even good at being bad. You are coincidentally bad.
Bad on accident.
Bad on accident. But it is funny regardless. At least it amuses me. Yeah, so we took the time out of our busy lives, and we each got together the 10 best games of the decade. It was not very difficult as I was going through, really, which is really interesting because that's a really long time, like 10 years. Like, it's games that came out when we were 14.
I was 13.
I'm expecting most of our. There will be a lot of crossover between our lists.
Specifically yours and mine, or all of ours?
You two.
Me and you, I think for sure, and then just as a whole, I think we'll have lots of crossover. Corey, maybe not, because Corey plays more games than anybody.
Yeah, I feel like mine.
Corey, no. Shane, not even Shane. So Shane's probably gonna have stupid games on there. So if anything, it will just be yours and mine.
True. Okay,
Yes.
fair enough.
I also want to point out the way I went about selecting my games is I had to look at my achievement list to be able to figure out what games have I actually played.
I used
Could you picture
Wikipedia
any-
list of games that were released in the calendar years, and I scrolled through them. But we'll get to that later. First, we can talk about some news, because there's a handful of news that happened.
I recommend that we go through the news quickly, because we're going to probably talk about these for a long time.
All right.
Yeah.
So then, we'll do what we want. We'll do what we want, Davis.
Sure. Go ahead.
We're going to start off by talking about how Game Awards is this Thursday, and Jeff Keighley, who I don't know if I guess he runs the Game Awards. He also hosts the Game Awards, but he did an AMA and he talked about some stuff. We're getting like 10 to 15. This is from his AMA. Around 10 brand new games are being announced at the Game Awards. So it's going to be stacked. We're getting a lot of information about the Game Awards, and he confirmed that this is also news for earlier, the recently leaked Resident Evil 3 not being shown and was never planned on being shown. And so nothing that has been leaked about the show has been true so far. Obviously, he could just be saying that, but that is what he said so far. So everything will be a surprise. He also said that Death Stranding is being nominated for Game of the Year. He had some information about the future of E3. And he thinks that E3 is reaching like a crossroads and stuff, with obviously nothing new. Everything that people are knowing that E3 is losing its appeal because of shit like Game Awards or all those other different events. Like Nintendo does their own things, PlayStation isn't even at E3. Yada yada.
I think E3 is dead.
If
be
it's
honest.
not dead, it's still huge.
It's not what it was. Maybe not dead, but it's the need for it, like you said, is gone.
I still love E3.
It's too much. It's too big.
But and also in the vein of E3 being dead because they don't need it anymore. On December 10th, Tuesday, PlayStation is doing their final state of play for 2019. It's at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And they're getting 20 plus minutes of news, game reveals, and updates. So by the time this is released, that will have already happened, and we will know what exactly they talked about. I don't know what they'll be talking about. Do you guys have any thoughts on new PlayStation stuff? What's coming out for PlayStation soon?
Do you think
Last of Us.
Soon? Like soon?
Like February.
I guess
comes
okay.
out.
That's
I'm sure they'll talk about that. Do you think they'll talk about PS5?
No.
No.
Maybe they'll talk Final Fantasy 7.
Maybe Final Fantasy. If they talk about like the new
That's
PlayStation,
also, I think, February.
if they talk about the new PlayStation, it will be in passing. It will be like,
Yeah, probably very briefly.
We are working on this.
have they? They haven't publicly said anything about the PlayStation 5, right? It's just been like their shareholder meeting where they'd mentioned it and they showed like the specs and stuff, but they haven't been like Xbox was with like Scarlet, where they had like that video presentation of like basically nothing but just announcing it basically. Because if they haven't done that yet,
I think they have.
if they haven't, maybe they'll do that. But I mean, nothing. They will do nothing real, I imagine.
Well, yeah.
Maybe they'll probably have more information like the expansion of PlayStation Now, because they're starting to ramp that up to compete with like Game Pass and stuff and Stadia and all that. That might be something. Who knows?
I hope they show off how the hardware looks, and it has that stupid V in it.
That will probably never see the light of day in real life. And if
I hope it
I'm going
does.
to be disgusted because it looks really bad.
It does, but it'd be hilarious.
It would be pretty hilarious. It'd be an eyesore for the living room. Like I said earlier, though, Resident Evil 3 remake rumors have leaks and stuff have been popping around. I guess art appeared on the PlayStation Store for the Resident Evil 3 remaster. As we reported, I believe, last week from whatever news site that was, that they had said that we're not getting a new Resident Evil game in the 2020 calendar year. It leads me to believe either it's false or we're going to get it before the end of this year, which would be nuts.
That would be
Yeah.
That'd be wacky. It'd be really cool, but it'd be wacky.
I mean, Capcom is wacky, so
We would have gotten a Resident Evil 2 remaster and Resident Evil 3 remaster in the same calendar year. Or they're just going to announce it and it won't actually come out until 2021. But I mean, if like the idea that it's already in the PlayStation Store this far in advance for it to come out in 2021 would be weird. Like a lot of times, like you can pre-order stuff in the store that isn't coming out for a while and there'll be like the art in the store for it. But like that's over a year at this point, which is, I don't know. That seems too far out for that.
It'd be a good PR move if they did it this year. They're like, hey,
it'd be cool.
This game is out tomorrow,
Yeah.
and that'd be people freak out.
It'd be very Nintendo of them to do that.
Yeah.
But so it there's a handful of arts releasing it or surrounding it. But like we said, also they might say something about it at Game Awards, even though Jeff Keighley said, did I say Jeff Keighley? Is his name Jeff Keighley? Yeah, Jeff Keighley.
So.
Even though he said no, he could just be trying to deter people. But who knows? Nextly, got some big news from the world's biggest game, Fortnite. So this is Davis. Before we recorded, Davis was talking about let's play some Fortnite. I don't want to play Fortnite until this happens. On December 14th, Fortnite's movie theater at Risky Reels will be showing a scene from Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker in it.
Wow.
We'll get an exclusive
we're going in.
scene in Fortnite for the new Star Wars movie on December 14th. Fortnite is a phenomenon. Disney's clearly got a partnership with them because they did the Thanos stuff for it was either Endgame or Infinity War. I don't remember which one. We get a Star Wars clip in the video game, which is like so cool.
Has there ever been anything like that before?
A trailer in a video game?
Like a real tie-in, like a real life, a different medium tie-in?
Marshmallow had
with
a
a video
concert in
Oh, I guess so.
It's true.
So
Fortnite is the closest.
I think
could
it's probably
of
happened.
in
It's probably happened before.
Battlefield Bad Company. They had billboards for Tropic Thunder. It's like the only thing I could think of.
That's older versions of essentially this. Yeah. There's been advertising in video games, I guess. Like
it's that's pretty cool.
There's Monster cans in Death Stranding. You drink Monster, but this is like next level shit. It will be exclusive, and it's 6 days before it opens in theaters worldwide. In-game theater posters are already advertising the screening, which begins at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time next Saturday. The actual clip will be shown at 2 p.m. Epic Games and Disney are giving players 30 minutes to get in the theater and take a seat. The Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams is expected to make an appearance too, according to Polygon. Very cool. Very excited. It should be a lot of fun.
Is player damage turned off? Because it's like just kill
Yeah,
somebody
right.
and they can't watch.
I believe it was for like the Marshmallow concert.
I don't remember how it works for any of the big events because there's always big events, and usually people just they aren't digging around; they just want to experience it. Like, or you can just watch someone on stream, just watch Ninja or someone on Mixer, and just experience it that way if you don't want to be involved directly. That's how I've experienced a lot of things through Fortnite.
Gotcha.
Nevertheless, very cool. More news about from the Valve front. From Twitter handle Valve News Network, no K.
Yeah, we're
Left 4 Dead VR is real, and the Game Awards is going to have new Half-Life Alyx news. And there's some other stuff he said in the tweet too, but I don't give a shit about any of that. So we're getting Left 4 Dead VR, we're getting Half-Life VR. Does Portal VR already exist?
Yeah.
does Portal VR need to exist though?
There's
Neither of these need to exist either. But
it's not like,
you're already
I
getting it.
would say like it's a Portal demo thing. It has the Portal robots and GLaDOS, I believe, but I don't think it has anything to do with actual placing portals.
Well, maybe. We're getting, according to him, Valve or Left 4 Dead VR is real. It's happening. Not that surprising after the news of Half-Life VR stuff. So it's just clearly Valve is going all in. They've been spending a lot of time. I imagine if Valve is making a VR game, it's going to be very good. So that's probably where all the resources have been diverted for quite some time to make like a good VR game. Like to making a AAA game takes a long time. Making a AAA VR game, very long time. So it makes sense that this is where all their time and resources have been put.
Yep.
And then also, Nintendo's jumping on the announcement train. December 10th, Nintendo's also doing a bit of a conference. They're doing a Indie World Showcase live stream for about 20 minutes of information on upcoming indie games for the Switch. So the indie darling of now, the Switch is swooping in, and we're getting more game stuff. So who knows what that could be. Switch is great for this kind of stuff. So we'll find out tomorrow. For 20 minutes information on some upcoming indie games. I don't know what they could be. Who knows?
Meh.
Yeah, I'm meh on that too. It's cool. I don't play very many indie games, but
yeah,
it's cool. And then going from indie games to more AAA games. New BioShock. According to Shane's favorite website, Kotaku. New BioShock has been in the works for years. So according to Jason Shearer from Kotaku, this morning, the video game publisher 2K announced that it had formed a new studio to work on a brand new BioShock game, the fourth in the popular sci-fi series, and it won't be out for several years. But according to him, what they didn't say is that the project has already been in the works since at least 2015. But it's gone under a couple different development cycles since then and changed a little bit. So it's in some sort of shape, and we are getting more BioShock, obviously.
Neat.
And it is coming from a brand new studio.
Awesome.
I liked BioShock. I like BioShock Infinite. This
yeah.
We're getting at the point now where it's like there are certain franchises that I haven't played in a while that I'm not really missing, that if they come back, I don't know that I'll be interested enough to play in them. I don't know that BioShock might be on that list of things that I don't know that it while it'd be cool and it'd probably be fun. I don't know that if it comes back, I'll be part of it. Like Halo has been gone for a while, but when Halo comes back, I'll be playing Halo. Don't know that BioShock necessarily fits that.
Yeah, BioShock has definitely been out of the loop for a long time.
So
I didn't even know when Infinite came out.
I don't know when Infinite came out either.
2013.
So
7 years ago.
It could be
plus however many more years. It's probably gonna be 10 years.
Yeah, it could be 10 years between the games, which is pretty nuts. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, there were 18 years between Shenmue 2 and 3.
And look how that turned out. Sold terribly.
Wonderful.
Giant pile of garbage.
A bug may have been revealed in Modern Warfare's 4 or revealed Modern Warfare's Battle Royale mode.
We knew it was coming.
We don't need this. I don't know why they're hell-bent on giving it to us. And I guess this bug includes a preview of a whole map. A lot of people really liked Blackout, which was Black Ops.
I liked it a lot.
Battle Royale mode. A lot of people said it was really good, but it was hidden behind a full price game. So I feel like a lot of people didn't end up playing it when there's options like Apex or Fortnite to play, which are both
Free.
the apex of Battle Royale games.
Yeah.
And free.
Yeah. I think we need to stop with battle royales, or at least like secondary modes in other games
They'll
as a battle royale.
oversaturation will kill themselves out. It'll happen.
Yeah.
This might be the end of it. The files contained a description for a mode called Battle Royale, a player count of up to 200, and
Wow.
even a top-down view of the map supposedly takes place on. So that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. It's twice as big as Fortnite. I don't know if there's any that are even close to being that big. There might be. That might be an interesting spin on things, having a big ass group of people. I'd
Yeah.
play it. I already have the game, so I'd play it at least once, see if I enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I'll definitely try it out.
For sure. I don't think we need it, but whatever.
Right.
This might not even be real. Who knows?
Sure.
And then the last bit of interesting news here, a full-size Commodore 64 revival launching soon, according to the makers. So we are getting a remaster of the Commodore 64, essentially. So to go with like the Super Nintendo Minis and the Nintendo Minis and the Genesis Minis, Commodore 64. So you're basically a mini home computer reboot.
Neat.
Neat.
Straight from the 80s. Full-size model. Corey, didn't your parents have one of these?
No, we had ColecoVision and Atari and like Odyssey. Yeah, we had Odyssey.
All right. Well,
Not Commodore.
I thought you had the Commodore, so I was hoping you'd have some insight on the matter. I've never fucking played a Commodore. I couldn't even tell you what games came out
I've
for the
seen
Commodore.
I've seen the Angry Video Game Nerd play a couple games.
That is
on it.
also my only experience with the
Yeah.
Commodore 64 is
But-
Angry Video Game Nerd.
Are those the games that are on cassettes? Or is that
I think
even
the Commodore,
farther
the
back?
Commodore
I'm
64
pretty
is
sure
essentially
they're
a computer.
floppy
It's like a
disks.
home computer. So it's
Yeah.
like it's a keyboard with a computer built in that you plug into a TV. It's like it is like V1 home computer.
There,
like Ouya.
there was an old console that literally had games up that were played off cassettes.
Yeah,
And
I don't
if you-
remember what that was though.
Yeah, I don't either. And if you put the cassette in like a cassette player, it was just like screeching noises because it just was the wrong format for a cassette player.
Like Shane when he gets cranky.
Yeah.
Oof.
Stop it!
Don't call me a baby.
You are a baby. Anybody have anything else of value or of interest or of intrigue?
Just, Persona 5 The Royal
Oh, no.
got announced to come out March 31st.
Why did you bring up Persona around Shane?
Lame.
Listen,
I've
I just
played more
really
of it
like
than him.
Persona 4.
Yeah, but Shane is, I think,
Anime
Actual.
fanboy?
Shane would stick Persona up his butt if he could.
Full body
Every
pillow
day
and
is great
hump it.
at your gym.
All right. Well, that was us busting through the news, so we can jump right into our rankings. 2010s, decent enough
Fun.
year. I didn't have a hard time making this list at all. I
Yeah.
went through. I wrote down all of my games in no particular order at first. Wrote them all down. I had more than enough. So, and the hardest thing was organizing them in the order. I found that I was like, my 1 through 5, not so hard. And then I penciled in like 7 and I penciled in 10. And I'm like, well, where do I want to put 6? And there were like 8 or like, it was the bottom half was harder than the top half. So what we'll do for this, like we did for the worsts, we'll do rapid-esque fire of the bottom 5 and we'll go in depth in the top 5. I will start and then we'll also do honorable mentions after.
What's the order?
Don and then counterclockwise according to me. So Don, Corey, Shane, Davis.
Ha, Davis is last. You suck.
Loser. All right.
Uh,
What?
should we have you and Davis by each other since you guys are probably going to have similar?
Okay, never mind. So we'll go clockwise. So it'll be Don, Davis, Shane, and Corey. Same order as last time.
Gotcha.
All right. So our lists might be completely different. We might not have any of the same lists, so who knows?
I doubt it, but
All right. So my number 10 is, now this is the most interesting one of my lists. Not necessarily interesting, but
the spiciest.
not spiciest, the hardest that I had. So I just did.
What do you mean? What do you mean hardest? Like to get on the list, or
I'll tell you. Number 10 is Red Dead 1 and 2 because I couldn't decide. They both came out in the 2010s. Red Dead 1 came out in 2010. Red Dead 2 came out in 2018. These both are very great games for the time. I remember I pre-ordered Red Dead when I bought a game before it, and I had anticipated it coming out. I know me, Shane, and Corey, or I don't know if you did. Me, Shane, Corey, we played a lot in the online, and it was a lot of fun. Beautiful game. It was cool. It was like GTA but pirates. Red Dead 2 was everything.
Pirates.
Cowboys.
Are you sure you know the game you're talking about?
My brain's a little fried. Red Dead 2, everything was better looking. Everything about it was better. We should probably. I want to get on the PC, and we should probably play online because that'd be pretty fun. But
I never played Red Dead 2.
Well, great for you. Maybe you can. My number 9 is Mass Effect 2. My favorite of the Mass Effect franchise. It is the one that I started with. I just did the visual novel for 1, so my stuff would transfer over to 2. I had a lot of fun with 2. 3 was fine also, but 2 was amazing. My number 8 was Spider-Man 2018. Best Marvel game probably ever. My number 7 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Best Smash Bros. Biggest roster. Feels great, plays great, looks great. And then my number 6 is Watch Dogs 2014. Controversial.
Yes.
This is in the middle of my list. Not a lot of people really liked Watch Dogs. However, it's the statement games for me are games that I go out of my way to get all the achievements in. And I went out of my way to get all the achievements in this game, even though one was locked. It wasn't locked. It was broken, and it pissed me off
I remember
so much.
that. Yeah.
You have to do the stupid ass drinking games, and you're just I spent so much time doing all these drinking games. I contacted Ubisoft support to get my achievement unlocked. Finally unlocked, and then they fucking added stupid ass DLC that I never played, so it ruined it for me. But at the time, base game 100%ed it, and it's one of the very few games that it did, and I had a lot of fun in it. It took place in Chicago, which we are near, so it was cool
Yes.
going to different areas of Chicago, and I still had a lot of fun with that game. That's my bottom half. Go ahead, Davis.
My bottom half does not look anything like your bottom half, Don.
I didn't think they would, so I don't know where you got
So we
the thought
cha-
that they would.
we changed the order for no reason. All right, number 10. My number 10 is GTA Online. GTA 5, whatever, but GTA Online, we spent tons and tons of time in and had a lot of fun with.
I still want to play that game all the time.
Yeah,
all the
I
time.
haven't played for years, but it's something that if I had on PC, I would go back and play with you guys.
But no,
Play it
let's
on
want to
Xbox.
play it on PC.
All of our
I
lives
don't-
are invested on Xbox.
Correct.
I don't know if I don't know if you need to have gold for that, and I don't want to buy gold. So
You get
Um,
gold with Game Pass Ultimate, dickhead.
that's true. Anyway, okay. Number 9, Super Mario Odyssey. I think it's okay. So as a Super Mario Sunshine fanboy, and has 100% of that game multiple times, I think Super Mario Odyssey is the best Mario game ever. I think it's perfectly polished, and I don't have anything bad to say about it. Number 8, Pokemon Go, came out in 2016. I started getting into this recently. In the last, I think in May, I started playing. Besides when it came out, but I stopped playing after a while. But it made me want to go outside, which, as somebody who goes to work and then comes home and plays video games with my friends, I don't do a lot of. But this made me go outside and ride my bike and go for walks and stuff. And it's just fun to walk around and catch Pokemon in the wild. Number 7, Skyrim. I know Don does not like Skyrim.
Nope.
But
I don't begrudge anyone that does, however.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most important video games of the decade. And it's one of the best selling by far, shown by how many times they've remade it and put it on different consoles and all that stuff.
The information
And
public in all its iterations, how many times it's sold.
Probably, I don't know what it is. I didn't look it up, but
Probably disgusting.
an absurd amount of money for sure. I bought it 3 times, so there's $180 just for me, because I'm an idiot.
Did you pay full price for it 3 times?
I probably not for full price, but
All right. Good.
I bought it on both Xboxes and PC. Anyway, and my number 6 is Stardew Valley. because that game is a charm to play, and it makes you feel very good to play it, which is not in a lot of video games that just make you feel happy.
Wonderful.
Moving on.
Shane.
Yeah. Okay. Surprisingly, me and Davis have some overlap.
Not that surprising.
Actually, you're right there. My number 10 is Digimon Cyber Sleuth, the complete edition. It's just
Is that the phone one or the
everything-
PSP one?
That's the one on the Switch that just came out.
Oh,
It
Shane
combines
has
both
Digimon on
versions.
his thing 3 times.
It combines Hacker's Memory and Cyber Sleuth, both of which are like full games that just take place in the same world. I enjoyed both. I've played both of them already. I don't care if you fall asleep during this. I played both of them already, and just being able to play them on the Switch and being able to transfer Digimon between the two, I love it. It's a JRPG that I love.
There's more than one Digimon? I thought it was just Agumon.
I'm gonna go hang myself.
or Bakugan?
My number 9 is Skyrim. That's self-explanatory. 8 Stardew. Davis covered exactly why that's on my
Hey.
list. My number 7 is a game I've been playing a lot of, and is what got me into the roguelite genre. Is Binding of Isaac.
That's a good game.
Yeah. And my number 6 is Portal 2. I played a lot. I've played through that game at least 6 times.
Portal 1, very, very short. And like if you play Portal 1 and then you like immediately play Portal 2, you're like, this game is so fucking long. Just comparatively, it's like you could be Portal 1 in an hour. And then you just go
Yeah.
and it's like, I've been playing this game for like 3 times the length and only like 3 hours have passed. And it's like it's
Yeah.
significantly more work has been put into Portal 2. It always throws me off. All right. Yeah, that was all, Shane, yeah?
Corey? Yeah, that's all, man.
Corey, bottom half.
So, as I talked to you about before this, Don, I couldn't decide what game to knock off my my list, so I kind of put 2 together for 10A and 10B.
Cheater.
Spider-Man, which you talked about, it's the best Marvel game, and The Witcher 3, because it's The Witcher 3. It's phenomenal, open world, great, perfectly done. There's always shit to do everywhere you go.
Real quick. Me and Dave were talking about years of shit that came out on our list, and we both didn't have anything from 2015. Witcher 3 came out in 2015. So Corey's got one at least.
Yeah.
All right. Then number 9, Uncharted 3, is Nathan Drake, continuing that game. It's Indiana Jones. I mean, it's amazing. Breath of the Wild is that Zelda game. That's probably my second favorite Zelda game since Ocarina of Time. Then number 7 is God of War, the reboot. It's phenomenal. They changed a lot about the game, and I was a little nervous about it, but it was amazing.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Then
They were nervous about the change, but it ended up being better, or at least as
Yeah.
good.
Then number 6 is Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars Sekiro. It's awesome.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Those are all so far, besides Shane's Digimon, because I don't give a shit about Digimon. All fair games that were released this year. They're all pretty good. So all right, now we're getting into the meat and potatoes here. These are we'll really start getting into things. My number 5 of best games of the decade is Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS, released in 2013. This game, what?
That one narrowly avoided my list.
It was like return to form for the Zelda games. There had been like the Minish Cap, or not Minish Cap, the like Spirit Tracks and all those, that like saga of games beforehand, which similar-ish, but not really. This game really returns to like Super Nintendo era Zelda, and mechanics were fun. It looked good. It played great. A huge quality game. Like everybody loved it. I really want it to come out on the Switch so I can have it on my Switch and I can play it on my Switch also.
I can agree with that.
Because I really want to replay it, but I'm never going to replay it on 3DS. It's just realistically not going to happen. So I want it on a system that I will use more regularly. And I don't know if that will ever happen. But I hope it does because I really, really, really want to play that game again. So yeah, that's my number 5.
My number 5. Does anybody want to talk about that besides Don? Before we move on.
No.
Covered it. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. All right. My number 5 is Terraria. Came out in 2011.
That was almost on my list.
I think I played that more than Minecraft. They're very similar games. Terraria feels just like there's more to do, since there's bosses. There were bosses before Minecraft and all that stuff. So I played that way back in the day a lot, and I've played it. I've gone back to it multiple times throughout the years, and every time I go back to it, it keeps my attention and is
Yes.
really fun to play and to do new stuff. So, and they just added I think they just added, or it's coming out soon, the last expansion, or the last update, where they have added in like a super duper hard mode and a whole bunch of new stuff. So
The
I might
last
go back and
update,
play
as in
it.
like they're not doing any more.
I can't even get past normal hard mode usually.
Yeah. It's called like Journey's End or something like that. So
Wow. I want to check that out again now.
yeah, maybe we'll play. But yeah, very good game. I don't think Don likes it very much, but he played it.
I played it
long time ago.
because Shane had it, so I was able to play it. But I don't think I ever
Yeah.
bought the game.
Yeah, no. But yeah, very good game. Definitely deserves to be on my list.
Shane?
Moving on.
My number 5 is going to be Halo Reach. That is my favorite Halo game of the series. It is probably the only Halo game that I've spent a large amount of time not only playing multiplayer, but just playing in general. And the amount of time and effort I put into Forge was ridiculous, especially seeing how I wasn't good at it.
No,
But
not at all.
I at least enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the games I made and everything. And I'm so thrilled that it's back.
I played it earlier today while those two
Yeah.
losers were playing Uno for some reason. I was
We
like,
had it
I was
till,
like, hey guys, do you want to play Halo Reach with me? And they're like, no, we're playing Uno. And I'm like, okay, go jerk each
More
other off
important.
then, I guess. All right. Reach, good game. I agree. Not best Halo game by far. Probably number 4.
my favorite Halo game.
Fair.
For different reasons, clearly.
Fair. Corey?
My number 5 is Battlefield Bad Company 2. That game is
Also almost on my list.
that is my number 1 favorite war game of all time.
So by that statement, I can. Do you like Bad Company 1 more?
Not as much, no.
I love Bad Company 1 more.
Don't get the campaign, absolutely, that was better. But
It's hilarious.
there's gold in the hills.
He's just running down the mountain. It's amazing.
Single-handedly infiltrates an enemy base.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but Bad Company 2, like the campaign, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I've never spent so much, like as much time in any multiplayer game as I have in Bad Company 2.
That's fair.
I played that all the time, especially when the Vietnam DLC came out. Oh my god, that was amazing.
I feel like everybody's got that one like friend who's like a Battlefield person when everyone else is like a Call of Duty people, or Corey's our Battlefield friend, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's our purist for Battlefield. All right. My number 4, moving into number 4, is a game that was on Davis's list, and it is even higher on my list. It is Mario Odyssey 2017. I don't know. Did you say it was your favorite or best Mario game?
Not my favorite. I think it is the best Mario game, but
That's
it's not my favorite.
probably true.
Sunshine's my favorite.
I think I might agree with that also. But Odyssey, it's having a 3D Mario game was very missed in my life. It was perfect. It's like I'll grab the Switch, I'll grab the new Mario game. It just works so well to have that new system at the time and be like, I'm gonna play a good 3D Mario. It's probably how people felt when they got the Nintendo 64 and they got Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
And it's like you pick up the new system, you got this new Mario game, you get to experience the system through this new game. It's like it's a beautiful game. It's got the hat mechanic was fun, where you just got to go be these different things.
Mhm.
So it looked good. There was loads of different moons to collect, so it offered a lot. A very, very different worlds, which probably the most world variation of any 3D Mario game, I'd imagine.
For sure.
Like
think so,
obviously
too.
old Mario games, so there's like snow levels and stuff, but like there'd be like some like crossover between certain levels, but these had like very different experiences in all the levels. It looked great, fun mechanics, very easily deserves number 4 of my best games of the decade. Davis, what's number 4?
My number 4 is one that half the people here don't like.
Smite.
Smite.
When did that game
Also
release?
almost on my list.
2014. It is. Don's already shaking his head. It is the game that I've played the most in my entire life. I guess I don't really know that. I don't know what my playtime is for a lot of old games that didn't have that logged, but in my brain, it's the game I've played the most.
In your adult life?
Yeah, for sure. And I know it's the least popular MOBA.
Is it?
Maybe not the
Like,
least.
actually?
I don't know. I mean, it's way less. Maybe it's the third. It's below League and below Dota, and I don't know what else there is.
There's that DC
I hate
Yeah.
Smite out of principle, but it was definitely the best MOBA because I don't
I
like
agree.
to play
I hate-
I don't like the playstyle of any other MOBA. I just hate
Yeah.
Smite because I hate Smite.
Yeah, I think that it's super cool because it's all based around different mythologies and their lore and their gods and goddesses, which is cool.
That's the coolest part of the game.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't want to play any other MOBAs because they were all click to move, click here, click. It's just clicking, click like crazy. And I really like WASD movement, so that's why I picked up Smite. And I don't know how I got so invested in it, but I still sometimes go. I haven't been playing it a lot recently, but I still go back and play it a lot. So I had to go on my list, even though I know it's not the best game, but it's been one of my favorite games of the decade. And I had to put it up high because it's just how much I've played and invested in.
Of course you did. I completely forgot that. All right, Shane, number 4.
My number 4 will be a more recent game and will be Sea of Thieves. We've been playing that a lot more recently. And
We dabble.
I have fallen in love with it to the point where I'm like looking into the lore of the game. Like there's comics and stuff. And I'm trying to hunt those down and figure out where I can read those. I'm sure it wouldn't be hard to find. I just have to find time to be able to do that. But I'm in love with it. It's so much fun for me. Even if I'm playing alone, I still have fun somehow.
It's a good
I don't
game.
think
It's
I don't think
evolved
I
a
can
lot.
play it alone.
I wouldn't want to. I can, but it's like I'd probably have an okay time playing it by myself. But like the amount, there are single player games I'd rather be playing by myself than that. And the amount of fun I have more when I play with other people, it's just like, why would I even play by myself? I have so much
Yeah.
more fun when I play with other people.
For sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Corey, number 4.
Number 4 is Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 1
yeah.
came out this year or this decade.
Yeah,
Yep.
it came out in 2010, I believe.
My lord.
It was amazing. I fucking love that game. The first time I played it, you were actually we were at grandma's, and I died a lot.
I remember. Yep.
But and then but the thing is, like, it's all trial and error. Like, as you go through, fighting all the enemies, you learn their movements, and then you're able to avoid getting hit. And now I can beat the game only dying once because that's the only way you progress through one part.
I like the concept in theory of having to learn through repetition to beat something difficult, but I don't have the patience for it.
Definition of insanity.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I hate the principle and the concept of the game. Like, I'm the exact opposite. I think it's games that are hard and that's their gimmick is fucking stupid. A game should
I
be
actually
good
agree with
first,
that.
hard second. It's like Dark Souls. Not saying Dark Souls is a bad game, but they went in with it's like we're going to make a game hard, and then they built a game around that premise. I don't like that. I think that's dumb. I think that's backwards. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying they did a bad job of that. They probably did the best job of that of any game, but I just don't like that principle to begin with as a jumping off point.
That's fair.
Not for
Yeah,
me.
me and
Clearly
Shane-
for other people. I'll watch people play it. I watch a lot of speedruns of those games. I think watching people speedrun those games is cool. It's totally because of the difficulty level of them, but I'm not that interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Shane played through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, but it's not a game that I would ever go back and play. Like for sure,
Oh,
100% not go back.
All right. Number 3. Top 3 games. We're at the end. Now I think this is where we'll get really interesting. My number 3, best game of the decade is Batman Arkham City,
I'm
2011.
not surprised.
Wow, I'm surprised it only made top. I'm surprised it was only number 3.
You shouldn't be, as the rest of them will unfold. I love the Arkham series. This is easily the best game in the Arkham series. I don't even consider
Origins.
Origins a part of it because it's really not. Didn't have the same. It didn't have a lot of same cast, and it wasn't made by the same group. I don't think Rocksteady made Origins, but Rocksteady made the other 3, and City was the best of it. One was a very clear jumping off point, which was a lot of fun, and Night I felt relied too heavily on the car mechanic, which I wasn't super interested in, but I still had some fun with it, the Batmobile mechanic. But this game, you got to go around all of Gotham City that was like essentially just a prison now and it's full of thugs. And you got to play as the Batman, and you got to basically pick which playstyle you wanted to do. You could be stealthy if you wanted to. You could be a brawler and just beat everyone up if you wanted to, or you could be a combination of both. Which the way that I play is typically it's like I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna be stealthy, and then I'll go, and then like I'll sneak up and I'll grab someone, and someone will be like, hey, it's not the Batman. I'll be like, shit, and I just gotta like drop a smoke, and I'll go punch people up, and I'm like, okay, next time I'm gonna be stealthy, and I never end up being completely stealthy every single time for the most part. It's just mostly havoc, but it's a lot of fun every single time. You get not all, but a shit ton of villains in all these games, which is pretty cool because it's not like a lot of games where it's like, well, you have a villain, but you've got tons of villains. Tons of side missions. I always collect all the Riddler trophies, which is probably the most nuts thing that I do in any video game.
Insanity.
That is the most insane thing that I do in any video game. It started off as like 100, and then it was 200, and I think in Arkham Knight it was like 400. But I go through and I try to experience as much as I can in those games, and I always have a great time because I think that they are. I almost said Spider-Man was the best superhero game. I think that
I know. As soon as you said
think
that,
that
I'm like, wait.
the Arkham series are the best superhero video games collectively probably ever, in my opinion. And that's my number 3. Davis?
My top 3 video games of the decade have a common theme of player choice. And my number 3 is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I think that is a nearly perfect game. I don't know. Without thinking about it, I can't think of one negative of that game. I'm sure I could find one if I thought about it, but right now I can't. And you can go wherever you want. You can do whatever you want. You can choose. You don't have to go to any of the dungeons. You could go straight to Ganon. It definitely wants you to go to the dungeons, but you don't have to. And the game's gorgeous. The world is super cool. A lot of giant open world games have the struggle of feeling empty and not knowing and not having stuff to do. But I never felt that in Breath of the Wild. I could always look off in the distance and see something that I wanted to go to, or there was stuff just lying around that was a little challenge or something for you to do. So it never felt boring or empty. And
Packed world.
Yeah, packed. Massive world, but somehow it felt packed, which is difficult to do. And kudos to Nintendo for making it so polished and being able to do that.
Felt like the snow area in the north was the most barren.
Yeah, but I mean that makes sense. It's a snowy area, not a whole lot of stuff going on. So
yeah.
So I will go back. I'm going to go back and play it sometime soon, and it's probably one of those games where I will go back to and play for a long time until Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, which has been teased, or it's probably not going to be called that, but
maybe.
who knows? But looking forward to that just because Breath of the Wild was so good, and I think it's definitely my favorite Zelda game, and I think it might be the best one too.
All right, Shane.
My number 3 is gonna be a game that I've talked about before on here, and a game that I've put way too much time in, especially for a game that's not even officially out yet, and for a game that I can't get anyone to play with me, is Fortnite Save the World.
That's on your list of top 10 games of the decade.
I've put so much time into this game, David, and
He's trying to hedge his bets. He's like, I've wasted my life with this game. I need people to believe that it's good so that my life isn't meaningless.
Like, it's to the point where I'm still watching YouTube videos trying to figure out new strategies and stuff on how to change the pathing of the husk.
You're supporting this game more than Epic supports this game.
I know. The good news is I've only spent real world money once, and that's to get access to the game. But like I love the Minecraft-esque Left 4 Dead combination of this game. The survival and then just building and trying to trap and just path the husks and the little story that's in. I say little. They got like 3/4 of the story done, but it's also been 2 years, and they just now got the third part done. Either way, the story, love it. It's very humorous, very fun and friendly humor.
I can't speak to the story of the game, but it's not a new concept. Me, you, and Corey literally played this game in a different iteration of Dungeon Defenders, like literally a month ago. It's the same game.
It's way better.
There's building, and there's
hordes of stuff going towards one point.
It's a tower defense game.
There's the monkey one in like that you could play on in a web browser.
Balloons.
Here's the thing: this is open. It's open world-esque where you can build literally
There's also
anywhere,
Sanctum,
and you just
Sanctum was not
trying to figure out how to
Sanctum's bad.
mess with the AI and get it to do what you want to do. I love it.
All right, thank you for explaining tower defense games. Corey, number 3.
I just wanted to play.
This is 3, right? Yeah.
Yes, 3.
Well, this is the one I was thinking you were going to talk about, Davis, when you said relies heavily on player choice.
Okay.
Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is phenomenal. Easily the best one in the series.
Almost on my list.
Not Mass Effect 1? What?
That was amazing, but there was that one part that was not good.
All of it?
No, just the driving.
The Mako.
Mass Effect 2 was, it was everything I wanted from another one. They fixed everything that was wrong in the first one. They fixed it and perfected it.
No. All right, let's not get away. The game's not perfect.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's not perfect.
Corey's number 1, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Hey, that was good. What? It was good.
Mass Effect
Andromeda was not
very, very hard for Corey to say negative things about video games.
No. Anyway, yeah, Mass Effect 2, all the races. It felt like
it's a great game. No doubt.
Again. Knights of the Old Republic.
It was my number 9. Yeah, it was my number 9. It was a lot of fun. There's tons of choice in the game. I was able to save everyone. Spoiler for a game that came out in 2010.
Spoiler.
I was able to save everybody but one person in my squad. I believe Jack died at the end of the game. I was so pissed because I wanted to save everyone. That was my goal. And I get to the end and I pissed her off somehow at some point in time, and she was the only one that died. I was so annoyed. So good. Agreed. Great game.
Yeah, I've played through it many times. Want to play through it again.
All right. My number 2, top 2, is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 2017. Unlike Davis, where he says that it's almost a perfect game, I don't necessarily think it's a perfect game. I don't even think it's the best Zelda game. But it was definitely deserves to be top 2 games of this past decade because it is a phenomenal game. I will point out problems about it. But I'm going to start by saying it looks great. The world is massive, and there's, like I said, chock full of things to do. And it's really cool. Like all the other Zelda games, when you start in the small area, and then you get to like experience the bigger area kind of open up. Like once you leave like the village and you go into Hyrule Field for the first time and like Ocarina of Time, that's like a cool thing. But in this game, you start on the plateau where you see the whole world first thing first. So it's like you're immediately right into it. It's like, okay, this is going to be cool. This is going to be fun. Couple problems, however, with the game. It starts off kind of a little bit of a difficult game, but the second you get the Master Sword, difficulty drops off and it's super easy for the rest of the game. Basically, it's like it's like the balance of the difficulty spread out of the game, I feel, is backwards. It was more hard at the beginning than I wanted it to be, and it was too easy at the end once you got the Master Sword. Everything was working up to getting that Master Sword.
That's true. The beginning of the game isn't stupidly hard, and then you're right, it does taper off dramatically.
Yes, like fighting the Guardians is almost impossible without the Master Sword, and once you get the Master Sword, it's kids' work.
Yeah.
I like the dungeon, how dungeons worked in like Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time more than this. Like
For sure.
The big, what are they called? The big when you had to get like the 4 actual dungeons of the game, Divine Beasts, those were cool. But all the other like smaller shrines, I didn't like them as much. I thought that they were fun. A lot of them were fun, but there's a shit ton of them, and sometimes they felt more like a chore than they did like a cool like Zelda dungeon experience. So if I could have had more of
like how when you're running and it's like, oh god, there's another shrine, you have to go run and do that when you're on your way somewhere else.
Yeah, if I could get more old dungeons or more Divine Beast dungeons than I could have gotten of those, I would have been more happy, and I would have thought it would have leaned more towards a perfect style game than it did at this point. But the amount of fun that I've had in the game vastly outweighs everything else. They added like cooking mechanics, which is weird for Zelda game, but it ended up being a lot of fun. Tons of different weapons, which is like a huge step in Zelda games. Like the way you can interact with the AI was like, they're stupid AI, but it was like smart and stupid AI. It's like you could, like they would be listening for you, or you could like trigger something that would like pull them away and like blow them all up, and like it was. And then anytime, however long it would take for the blood moon to come out, and then everything would come back to life and everything would be way more dangerous. It's like it was a breathing world with like random like AI and like fun NPCs to experience, and it was a huge world that I agree with Davis. I still need to finish, still need 100%, still need to do everything.
Oh god.
But it probably like exists at number 4 Zelda game for me, because there are other games that I like. Maybe number 3, maybe number 4 somewhere, but I wouldn't say that it's my favorite Zelda game. But definitely number 2 game of the decade. Davis, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Fallout New Vegas.
I thought it was going to be your number 1, honestly.
It almost was, to be honest. But I think my number 1 might be more than just my number 1. I have a feeling. It almost did make it my number 1. Fallout New Vegas, I think, is as close to a perfect game as you can get. The dialogue is incredible. The gameplay is amazing. The shooting sucks, but it was made in Fallout 3's engine, and Fallout 3 shooting was worse. So at least it was an improvement upon Fallout 3 at the time. But the story is all right. I really like that you can there's like 4 or 5 different ways to handle the main quest, depending on who you help out. And then I think one of the coolest things is that pretty much everything you do throughout the game comes back at the end of the game in that like ending game slideshow, and talks about how you have left your mark on the wasteland at the end of the game. And I think that was really cool, and it was not done in Fallout 4. And it's just a small detail that added a whole lot of meaning behind what you did. And I could go on and on, but I go back and play the New Vegas every year or every other year, just because I love it so much, and I always find new ways to play it and stuff. And I think it's for me the best Fallout game.
I personally like Fallout 3 more, and it's solely because the world of New Vegas bores me.
That's fair.
Yeah, the world could be better.
If it had pretty much pretty much did improve on everything in Fallout 3 except for the world, and that's such a huge part of Fallout for me.
Yeah, Obsidian was only given, I think, like a year and a half to do it, and or maybe even less than that. When Fallout 3 had multiple years and a giant budget and all this stuff. So with the time that they had to do, I think they nailed it. And if they had more time, they would have obviously would have fleshed out more. But the fact that they made such a great game in so little time, I give that part a pass. But
I think that they proved their ability of game making with Outer Worlds.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they had as much time as they wanted, and they made a kick-ass RPG.
Yep. So yeah, I had nothing but good to say about Fallout New Vegas.
Shocked that wasn't your first one, but we'll see what your first one was. Shane?
It was, up until today, it was on the top of my list throughout all my research.
Interesting. Shane, number 2.
My number 2 is the same as yours, son. It's going to be Breath of the Wild.
Wonderful.
Unlike you, though, it's my favorite Zelda game.
It's like all of your favorite Zelda games, besides Corey and I. And Corey has it ranked higher than I do still. I still love this game.
No, it's fantastic. Like, it's exactly... it's what I want every RPG to be at this point. Like, being able to climb everything has destroyed me.
Yeah, navigation's really nice in the game.
Yeah, that was really cool. The gliding feels so good. It's absurd.
It really does. But I'm like, you guys keep saying you're going back to it. I've done everything I possibly could in that game besides the island trial, which came out way too late to the point where I was too rusty to actually be able to pass it.
What's the island trial?
It's like a DLC where you get none of your items.
It's so fucking hard.
That's base game.
Fucking hard, dude.
No, it's no, sorry, not island trial. Master Sword challenge.
Oh, okay.
Increase the power of the Master Sword.
The island trial was a
yeah,
shrine.
Sorry. I did the island trial. It was the Master Sword challenge, which is similar but not the same. But and then I also haven't gotten all the Korok seeds, but that's just because there's way
900 of them.
Well, that poop seeds. Oh fuck! Keep forgetting about those. I'm gonna die.
And literally, though, when you get all of them, you get a giant turd.
Mm-hmm. Like golden turd.
Yeah,
it's a golden turd.
All right, Corey, number 2.
All right, number 2 for me, Persona 5. That game is so good, and I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was on sale. I picked it up, started it up, and I couldn't fucking put it down. The characters are all like engaging. The story is awesome, and usually I don't like that kind of like combat type in games where like turn based, like Final Fantasy. They've had that. And those are always the ones I had a hard time getting into. But this, I thought it worked really, really well. All the personas you get are awesome. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to the new one. It took me like 120 hours or something to beat the game, and I loved every second of it.
All right. Final ones here.
Do we want to do honorable mentions before number 1, or do we want to do those after?
We'll do those after. All right. My number 1 game of the 2010 decade. I feel like it's obvious. It's Grand Theft Auto 5. And it includes online. This game was fucking huge. It's existed on basically 3 generations of platforms in the way that it came out. It started out on the 360 and PS3. It came to the Xbox One and PS4, and a different group of time it came to the PC. So it like in 3 separate occasions came out on all these different systems and crushed it. It's the fastest selling video game or the biggest selling video game of like all time in some way. I don't remember which one it is exactly, but it crushed records. Probably it might have been the fastest. It crushed records. And I basically exclusively play it for online. And the reason that it's number 1 on my list is I love all these other games, but none of them have the replayability that Grand Theft Auto 5 Online has for me. I could play that game any day for the rest of my life. And while I love all these other games, I don't necessarily know that I could do that. Maybe not necessarily for the rest of my life, but until the next version of this game comes out, it's like, I will right now play Grand Theft Auto Online. After we were done recording, if you guys want to play, I would play. and I could do almost nothing. I could just drive around and dick around and have loads of fun. And I would have zero problem with it. And like some of the other games, I'd be like, maybe I don't want to play it right now. I'm not right in the mood for it. I'll play Grand Theft Auto any day of the week. You give me Grand Theft Auto, I'll play it. It's nuts. Like all Grand Theft Autos always are. It's a giant world. It's an expressive world. The NPCs that you have nothing to do with, they'll say funny things. They'll make me laugh. It's got a great variation of cars. It's got a good variation of guns. It's back to, you go back to San Andreas, which was my favorite Grand Theft Auto game, period. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is my favorite game because I had a lot of fun playing it. So being able to go back to that city in a big grand like recreation of it was amazing. So it's probably the biggest game of the decade, honestly, and the manner that it's either that or Skyrim in the manner that it's existed. It's like Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto 5 are the games of the 2010s for sure.
Are you done?
Sure.
You are incorrect, sir, because
Agreed.
my number one is the top game, the number one game of all time.
Oh, you're saying okay, yeah. I mean, technically yes, but yeah.
Anybody know what my number one is?
It's Minecraft.
Minecraft.
It's Minecraft.
Same.
Came out in 2011. As I think that's when it actually released instead of being
Yes.
a beta or alpha or whatever.
That's when Mojang released it.
Yep. So like I said, number one game of all time. 180 million copies sold, with a 112 million players monthly, which is insane for a game that came out almost 10 years ago. And that's 62% of its player base is still playing monthly, which is wacky. And Minecraft, we don't play it very much anymore or ever. We played it for a little bit, but besides a few months ago when we played it very briefly, we haven't gone back to it in a long time. But it's such an important game for just the video game community and just the medium itself. When Minecraft came out, everybody made Minecraft clones because of how popular it was. We played probably
A lot
5 of them.
because it wasn't on the 360 yet.
Right. And we played when Minecraft did come out on 360. We played it all the time. Spent it pretty much every day after school. We would come home and play it together. So it's hugely successful, hugely important. And
I don't think it's better than Grand Theft Auto though.
I sure, I'll give you that. But the importance and gravity of the game, I think it outweighs Grand Theft Auto in that regard.
That might be
But
true. I don't
I
even
think
include
GTA is-
Minecraft.
What's that?
I don't even include Minecraft. It's just like in its own world.
Yeah, but
You can play it on a T65 graphing calculator.
Yep.
Or TI65, whatever it was.
yep.
Both of
Oh.
your games, I usually end up getting bored after like a half an hour. Like, I completely understand how everybody loves those games, don't get me wrong. But for me, for some reason, it just doesn't hold my interest.
Yeah, you'll play Shenmue.
It's great. Great game.
When you spend 5 hours doing dog races or whatever it
The
was.
most fucking
Turtle race.
menial tasks watching
Turtle
these
races.
dumbass turtles mushing a button and watching these turtles run 4 hours to make money, only to do it again with chickens.
That was different. That was me chasing the chickens to catch them.
Boo.
Trying to chase the value of the game. Shane,
Shane,
number
what's
one.
your number one?
My number one is also Minecraft.
Woo!
Like I'll go more into it because I feel like it's better than GTA, only in the sense that GTA has too much content that I feel like I have to either play
Too
it
much. I say no,
I
no.
either-
You
that's
giving me
either I have
too
to
much.
pay money for,
You don't
or
have
I
to pay money for
to
anything.
work my ass off to get.
Minecraft is just work.
Yes, but it's different. It feels more rewarding. I don't have to spend hours upon
What?
hours
Mining
feeling-
shit?
There's no reward
build?
in Minecraft. Minecraft has literally no reward except for
My
when you beat the game.
creativity is my reward. God damn it!
You're an idiot.
But no,
That's the dumbest shit I've
Minecraft-
ever heard. Minecraft has got more
Minecraft-
reward than GTA 5. You're an idiot.
Minecraft. Minecraft's
No fucking reward. Stupidest shit I've heard in my whole goddamn
I've also
life.
dabbled a lot more in the mods of Minecraft, and I really have been enjoying.
Maybe you should dabble in the mods of GTA 5. Or is it not enough reward for you?
I don't have it on PC.
Maybe you should buy it on PC. You can buy it on whatever. Keep talking about Minecraft.
But hey, Don, want to talk about Fallout 76?
I'll play Fallout 76.
No, like I do find GTA more fun. Absolutely, no denying that. When I play Minecraft, I can start over and not be upset. But if I were to start over in GTA 5, I would never touch the game again.
Yeah, but why would you?
If I brought it on PC, well, I guess I could transfer stuff. That's a one-time thing. Anyways, Corey.
Anyway, dumbass. My number one.
Shenmue sucks.
Jimmy does suck.
It's true.
That's a lie. The Last of Us. The Last of Us is the greatest game of the decade. The story was phenomenal. The characters, you actually, fucking care about the characters. The gameplay was phenomenal. It, like, I can't remember the last time I played a game that was done as flawlessly as that. Fucking the intro, like, they kind of slowly moved you into the game and, like, showing you the world and, like, what's going on, telling the story and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, I remember first time I heard about the game, seeing that you're going to be with this little girl, obviously everyone was pretty much like, great, it's an escort mission. Like, the entire game's an escort mission. Ellie is the most fucking badass person in any game. She helps you out, throwing you ammo. If you're about to be spotted, she jumps on the person and stabs them. It's awesome. It's a great game. If you haven't played it, definitely play it.
Came with my PlayStation. I don't think it's that good. I think it's fine. I don't think it deserves. This is your list, obviously. I don't think that it should be mentioned in the same breath of the like of games like Breath of the Wild or even Star Wars Fallen Order. I think Fallen Order is a better game than Last of Us, honestly, or Mario Odyssey. But I mean, honestly, it's your opinion. I just didn't have as much fun with the game.
Or Digimon, right, Shane?
Last of Us could probably be top 20 or top 30 for sure. But number one, it's a bold statement for Corey. Corey really liked that game.
Apparently.
I applaud you, Corey. You like what you like.
True. All right. We powered through it. We had a nice discussion there. I don't have an interesting game fact because
What about honorable mentions?
All right, whatever. My honorable mention: Fortnite Battle Royale. It's the biggest game of the past 3 years. So my other one is Minecraft. Oh no, it wasn't Minecraft. It was Minecraft.
What?
I didn't write down Minecraft, but Minecraft was also an honorable mention. And then an honorable mention I had for indie games, because I wouldn't put an indie game on this list because indie games are cool, but I don't necessarily think that they're game of the decade material. I loved Firewatch. Firewatch was a lot of fun. It's a very short game. It was only like 4 hours long. There's not like a huge amount of stuff to do in it, but it was a fun time. It's definitely not like top 10, obviously, but I think it is at least an interesting game that people should play from this past decade.
My honorable mentions are Apex Legends, Overwatch, and Borderlands 2.
I never played Overwatch.
I play it very little, but it's
fun.
Still like number 2 or 3 on Twitch, and it's been out for almost 4 years. So I know how it's important and fun it is and stuff. So I'll probably play it a little bit here and there, but I want to get back into it.
My honorable mentions are Watch Dogs, Red Dead. Yeah, the first one because I never played the second one, and Monster Hunter World. I've played a lot of Monster Hunter World. I just probably would have made my list if I could have gotten more into it with more people.
That game is hard.
It is hard, but I felt like I have mastered the weapon I use, and I feel very happy about that. I feel like I've accomplished something.
What do you guys play that on?
I played on Xbox.
Is it crossplay?
I played it on PS4 first.
It is not done.
Isn't that crossplay?
No. But I also have it on Xbox and PC.
I have it
Because
on
it's
both as well.
Game Pass.
If we could all play it on PC, I'll play it.
I have it on PC.
I have it on PC.
If it's available through Game Pass on PC, glad.
I think it is.
And then I'll play. Corey, honorable mentions.
Sekiro, which I talked about last week. Mario Odyssey. BioShock Infinite. And Arkham City.
Good list. There was a lot of crossover, some difference, fair amount of difference. Honestly, Davis, you were wrong with your assumption that we'd have very similar lists.
Yep. I don't know.
I don't know what you thought I would have had. But
Me and
Well-
Davis were more similar than you guys were.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, there was 4 games. No, never mind. You didn't have Minecraft.
I did not have Minecraft. Minecraft was on my paper list, but when I was going to put it together, I'm like, Minecraft doesn't add up to the rest of the games in levels that I care about. All right, that was a longer episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be again next week. I've got a surprise. I haven't announced this to anyone. Our next 3 episodes, I've got a Christmas present for you 3. Our next 3 episodes, you guys get to pick. Corey, Shane, Davis. I don't care what games you pick. It'll be you guys get to pick the game we are playing it. I don't care what it is.
I don't need that kind of pressure in my life. Fuck you.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Like we're playing
Bye-bye.
Smite.
Wait. Aren't we doing? Wait. Aren't we?
What?
Nice here, Shane. Aren't we doing the? Is it this weekend that we're doing the Taco Bell thing?
That's separate. But
Oh, okay.
all right.
But stay tuned for that.
All right,
Bye
see ya.
bye.